see you, you're walking across the campus. Cool professor studying romances. How am I supposed to pretend I never want to see you again?
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ashlyn if you don't know me, and I'm a senior in high school, and I just decided where I'm going to college. It is, let's see, a little over 8 o'clock right now at night. I got the package in the mail with the shirt that I was waiting to film this video with, but we have to backtrack a little bit before we get there because this process all started last March. It is now April 14th, and I started this process back in last March. It has been a long one. It has been a long one, ladies and gentlemen, and it is finally over because I know where I'm going, and I'm going to explain my whole college admissions process, how I decided where I'm going, and you're just gonna have to sit back and enjoy. And let's just get on into this thing. I just grabbed my laptop because I have some information on here in a blog post that I actually wrote, which you can check out down below in case you want to read some of the stuff, because I made sure to throw in some tips and tricks for some upcoming seniors who may be watching this. I've wanted to make this video for so long, since like freshman year, because every year I would always watch these on YouTube of people like reacting to their college decisions or saying where they're going and all the announcement videos, and I love them so much. I just think they're so fun and they're so helpful. So here I am making one today now. It all started pretty much last March when my school went into shutdown because of COVID, and I was very bored because we did have classes for 2 weeks when they're deciding to get all the virtual stuff figured out. So I started working on my resume and I started working on my college essay. So for the resume, my #1 tip I would give to anyone who is planning on applying to college this year is, as you do certain things of like community service, school activities, win awards, just write them down in your notes app on your phone. Don't try to keep them all up in your mind, because trust me, you will not remember them. I did not do this process, and that's why I wish I would have, because I had to go back, try to find photos, forms, anything that I could think of to try to help me remember what I did throughout high school. I filled all the specifics, just got it all out on one piece of paper, worry about the formatting later. Started thinking of essay topics, thought of any sort of story I could think of, because I was applying through the Common App. The Common App's sort of the broad one that you can apply to any college out there through, and that's what I chose to do. And I went in, and the Common App had like 5 different essay topics that you could choose from, but the last one was sort of freestyle. I decided to do that because I think that's the easiest to show who you are and take your idea and take it as creatively as you want to in any direction you want. If you want more details about that, just let me know and I can make another video on it. But I wrote that, and this was all throughout like March, April, May, end of the school year. So the Common App doesn't open until August 1st, which means I pretty much had the whole summer off, had my essay and everything done. August 1st is when I decided to start applying. So this is where COVID comes into play of making everything all messy. Pretty much I had no clue where I wanted to go to college. I didn't know location, size, if I wanted to be in a school with sororities, fraternities, if I wanted to be in the middle of a city. I had no clue. Also, I didn't know distance-wise if I wanted to be far away from home. So I decided to go maximum of Boston schools down to North Carolina schools. So I did all the East Coast, and I ended up applying, which I probably never would have applied to this many amount of schools, but I applied to 15 schools. 5 of them were free applications. The other 10 you had to pay for. But I did not get to tour any of the schools besides just walk on the campus of like a few of the ones in Pennsylvania, because with COVID, like you could leave the state, but we were trying to be very COVID safe. Only went to a couple of the schools and just walked around the campus and just get like a gist of how you feel about it. I walked around the campuses, and a lot of them I never even saw at all, so I applied blindly to most of them. But I will say I sort of wish I didn't apply to 15 schools. It just was a lot of excess work and a lot of stuff. But with the COVID year, you didn't know what was going to happen, because you didn't have to send in your SAT or ACT scores at any school pretty much, which has never happened before, and you had no clue what they were looking for because the baseline used to be those scores, and it just made it very stressful. So I applied to a lot of safeties, and it made it a lot of time to get through these applications when I did all my like extra essays. I ended up totaling out about like 6,000 words, which was a lot of pages in a Google Doc. The way I kept everything without getting it confused and mixed up was I made every school a different color on a Google Doc, and I just go down through it like it was like a school assignment, type out each one, get it all set up, highlight it when I had it completed, and then I'd have my parents edit it, be my little editors, so thank you to them for being my editors throughout all of this because they did so much reading. But I ended up in the end getting into 9 out of the 10 schools, and I got waitlisted at 2. So in the end, the schools I got into were Elon University, American University, Duquesne University, Fordham University, High Point University, University of Pittsburgh, LaSalle University, Lebanon Valley College, St. Joe's University, and I got waitlisted at Villanova and Syracuse. So this is now where we go into starting to go on college tours. I decided to switch up the location a little bit because I'm sure you guys were getting bored of the last one. Now we're at the college tours portion of this, which was the most exciting part. Once you get to getting to actually look at the school, it makes it so fun, and it makes all the writing and stressing out where to apply and getting all the decisions back all worth it. I will say there was a lot of tears, a lot of not fun times. Obviously, I applied to 15 schools. I didn't get into all of them. I didn't get into the Boston schools I applied to, and I didn't get into UNC, which was a little bit, disappointing, but they were all reaches, so I had some really good options in the end, which made me very happy. When I started going on tours, my number one focus when it came to being in college was studying communications, because I've known I always want to do something with talking, writing, journalism, anything like that. I don't know exactly what field I'm trying to do, but I do know it's going to be in communications. Girlie's not a math girl, but it's a-okay. So when it came to that, I decided to knock out a few just to begin with. So I knocked out Lebanon Valley College because I applied there because I'd just done a dual enrollment class with them, and it was like my number one safety school, and I couldn't really see myself there when I did my dual enrollment class. So they were the first ones off the list. The next ones I knocked off were Duquesne and LaSalle because those ones also, they just didn't really have what I was looking for my major, and I had gone to the campus for Duquesne but not LaSalle, but both of them just didn't really have what personally I could see myself at for college, and I decided to cross them off the list, but they were still really good options of schools. Next, I decided to cross off High Point because we'll get into talking about Elon later, but out of the North Carolina schools, Elon was definitely my higher up choice out of the two of them. Next up we have, with the waitlist, I decided to not stay on the Syracuse or Villanova waitlist just because I have been doing this process since last March, which means I have been doing this for a very long time, and I am not really wanting to wait until the summer to try to find out if I'm getting in. I just want to start looking for a roommate and start getting all my college merch, which is and you'll see so many hauls. I already have filmed so many cute ones, but that's a different story. That's for a later video. But I decided to knock Villanova and Syracuse off, even though those very hard choice. That gave me down to my final schools, which were Elon, American, St. Joe's, Fordham, and University of Pittsburgh. So first one we took out of the final 5 was University of Pittsburgh, which was sad for the major I was trying to do. They just didn't have what I was looking for. I decided to take Pitt off the list, which was really sad because I loved the campus. It's such a beautiful school, such an amazing school. The next one I decided to take off was St. Joe's University, which I know St. Joe's has such an amazing education. It's just when I went to the campus, I just didn't feel like it was the place for me. I felt like some of these other schools I had a better connection with. I thought one of these other schools on this list would be a better option. We're at our final 3, which was American University, Elon University, and Fordham University. So we are going to talk about all 3 and then go down to the final 2. Now we are finally on to the final 3 schools, which were all such amazing options, and I'm just so thankful to have even gotten into these schools. So we have American, Elon, and Fordham. So my first school out of those 3 I toured was Elon, and down in North Carolina, and my brother is an alum from there and he loved it. A very good school, very big sorority and fraternity life, an amazing communications program, and warm weather. Those were my biggest pros for this school. And having a brother who went there. The biggest con was the distance. It was pretty far away from my home. It was a very long drive, and I probably wouldn't be able to get to see my family too often. But campus, beautiful. I'm sure I'm putting the clips over from my tour over this clip right now, and you'll get to see how pretty the campus was. An amazing school overall. The next school I went to tour was American University, which is in Washington, D.C., and it's a very, very beautiful school as well. All these schools are just so pretty. It adds on to how hard the decision was to make. American, amazing communications program. It also had an amazing just layout and location, being so close to Washington. D.C. was just so pretty, and everything about it was just so nice. The biggest con though was they did go pretty much the whole year fully virtual. Didn't have a lot of kids on campus from COVID this year, and some of the other schools I applied to had made some farther steps ahead when it came to the how to do school during COVID. So that made me just a little bit nervous, because I said I really want to be in a school full-time in the fall and not be at home, because my brother unfortunately was home the whole fall and didn't get to have his first half of his college experience be like normal. So I'm hoping to have a semi-normal college year next year. So it just made that a little bit of a turn off, but overall everything about the school, so nice. Such an amazing school. And the third school that I toured then was Fordham University, and Fordham is right in the Bronx and is 20 minutes away from Manhattan. It is in New York City. If you guys don't know, I love New York, and that was the biggest pro to Fordham. My brother lives in the city as well. He works in the city, and when I went on the Fordham campus, loved it. Beautiful, obviously, like all the other campuses. Everyone was so welcoming, everyone was so nice that I bumped into, and on my like self-guided tour there's just so many nice people, and everybody was telling me nothing but good things. The con I would say is obviously the Bronx doesn't have the best reputation, but everyone I've talked to has said that it takes you like around a month to get used to, and then they love it there, and that was the biggest con. It would take some getting used to if I decided to go to Fordham. Once again, my final three schools were American, Elon, and Fordham, but I ended up knocking out American just because I could see myself fitting in better at Elon or Fordham. So that took me down to my final two schools, which were complete opposites. Elon is a very sorority fraternity school that's down in North Carolina, and Fordham does not have sororities or fraternities, and it's in the middle of New York, which means we get down to where I'm going next year. So without further ado, I'm so excited to announce that I'm so excited. I'm officially going to be a part of the Ramily. I'm going to Fordham University, College of Rose Hill next year for the next 4 years, and I'm so excited. In the end, all of the pros of being in the city, everyone being so nice, outweighed any of the cons of no sororities, no fraternities, and when I walked on the campus, it just felt right. That's all I have to say. I really did have that feeling that this is the school for me, and I am so excited to go to college next year, and I've just been in so much stress this whole year that making this decision has taken a big weight off my shoulders, and I literally cannot wait. So be prepared for the upcoming YouTube videos where you get to see my dorm shopping, my college outfit shopping, and I'm gonna be part of the Ramily. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see my upcoming college content, and I cannot wait. I'll be seeing you guys next year in New York City, and hopefully you guys want to follow along with me for the ride. I will see you guys next time as a member of the Ramily now. Love you all the most. Mwah. See you next time.